My name is Carissa, and today we have Wendy dropping in, and we are going in deep on lessening the anxiety during illness and creating a financial stability plan. So, we are all about health, vitality, and financial stability. So, Wendy, why don't you drop in, tell us a little bit about you, and let's see where she goes.
Okay. So thank you for this. Nice to be able to do this with you. It's such a great combination. Health, wellness, and financial vitality. Financial uh, vitality. Sorry, the word left me. It's the perfect marriage because anyone who's had a chronic illness knows that your income can change, right? You may have to work less. You may have to quit your job entirely. You may have to take a different job. So having a chronic illness can really affect your income. And I don't think it's something that people really talk about that much.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have this connection. Who I am is I've been a social worker in the past. I've been a massage therapist. My whole life has been about helping people try and feel better in their lives in whatever way, shape, or form. So for the past 20 years, I've been doing Reiki, and a lot of other things associated with Reiki. One of the things that really has been beneficial for people with chronic illnesses are healing circles. They're a place where people can gather who have, it doesn't even matter what the illness is, it makes no difference, but who can learn from each other, be supported by each other, and learn some new techniques and tricks about getting through life with a little more control, a little more um, freedom to dream, and that sort of thing. So I'm so excited to be here with you because I think it's a perfect little marriage that we've got going on.
Perfect. I love it as well too. So I'll give you just a really brief background about myself. For the past 19 years, I have been helping individuals, thousands of individuals with financial mastery, with real estate success and wealth creation. And so within this space, I personally have a whole bunch of rental properties and a tropical Airbnb. I've also been a budget counselor, credit counselor, mortgage counselor, foreclosure counselor, reverse mortgage counselor. I've also been a mortgage loan officer and all of the above. And I love, love, love helping people create the freedom that they absolutely desire. And so, really, for the past 3 years or so, I've been really focusing in on heart-led women and getting them to the place where they want to be financially, and that is managing and multiplying their income. And specifically in this space too, I also have programs, I have memberships, and just a whole lot of I just love to share, and share. And so that brings me so much joy, and to see people creating the lives that they just absolutely love is that's just what lights me up. So Wendy and I are here to get you fully lit up for your health, your vitality, and your financial stability. So Wendy, I'm going to have you take it away and give us the juicy details about the health and the vitality, and I'll drop in with the financial stability.
Cool. So first, I just want to talk a little bit about when generalizations. Again, these are all generalizations, but generally, when you have a chronic illness, there's a loneliness that comes with it. There is anxiety that comes with it. There is depression that can come with it. There is sort of this, you're having to say no to a lot of things that maybe you would like to say yes to. So it's a little bit of maybe a FOMO a little bit, or that kind of a thing, or an envy or a jealousy, or people experience it all a little bit differently.
Okay.
So there's lots of little emotions that come up, and there's this other piece about when you have a chronic illness about covering it up for other people, so that other people aren't uncomfortable based on your situation.
Okay.
And so the work that I do is really to work with people, whether it be through healing circles, whether it be through Reiki, whether it be through Akashic records, whether it be through past life regression, whatever it is. There's so many things. Mantras, chanting, there's so many things to work with people so that they have more of a sense of control over their lives. They have more of a sense of, there are things I can dream about doing that I maybe never dreamed about before, because I'm finding myself in a different space. And
Yeah.
so there's just so many little things that you can do that can change your energy, that can change how you approach your illness. Little things like changing the words you use instead of saying,
Oh,
you know, a huge
huge.
about changing your
Oh
language.
my
Because so
gosh.
many people will say like my fibromyalgia or my fill in the blank. We want to detach from that. We don't want to own that, right? So there's so many like little things that will up your frequency, change your understanding of yourself, and allow you to show up in a more real way, so that you are not always trying to put a mask on for other people,
Mhm.
so that you can really just be who you are. And this lights me up. Like this is my passion. When people come in to see me, um, I love to help them just reconnect with their their what lights them up, right? What lights them up and what makes them feel more at peace, what makes them feel more grounded. And the thing about this type of work, when you're working in the realm of the space that you can't see, right? The realm of the unseen. When you're working in that space, you get so much guidance, right? It's very specific. So you could look up, in a book, what do I do if my root chakra is out? Whatever. Or what do I do, if I'm feeling really nervous? And you can read some wonderful things. But the thing about energy work is that you get it very specific towards you. It's not a list of top 10 things to do when you feel anxious. It's not that. It's this is what specifically will work for you and your energy at this moment. And so,
I love that so much. And I'll just throw out there because a lot of times we hear your soul, right? Wendy, we can hear your soul say that, like, this is the message. This is where we're going. This will what take you to the next level for that deeper healing. I apologize. I just wanted to like
oh no,
that general stuff. Like, that's great. But when we can literally hear your soul, you're like, oh my gosh, it's screaming. You need this.
right,
I'm sure you get
right.
that.
And it's
Oh my
even
gosh.
more fun when, so sometimes, like I'll hear it, but it's
Yeah.
even more fun when the client like when you hear it as a client and you're laying there on the table and you're like, I just got this message. I have to do XYZ. And then you feel more engaged with it. You feel more, um, just feel like you own it more, like more sense of ownership. Yeah, it's so exciting. I mean, we do things that are similar, you and I, which is
Yeah.
very interesting. We just have different outcomes that we're looking for, or whatever. We just have different ways of practicing it. So it's so fun.
Yeah, yeah, we're
Yeah.
all moving everybody up the mountain one way or another. Like,
Hmm.
just the starting places are a little bit different for
Yeah.
everybody. So I
Yeah.
love your uniqueness, and I love that alternative medicine space, especially like I know you and I were kind of talking offline of like the stuff that we do, like Wendy, specifically when somebody comes to see you for like we'll say quote unquote an illness, the energy space isn't something that's picked up by insurance. So it's like, how crazy is this? And then having to go into the spaces of like the finances and getting those dialed in so that way you can go get the care from Wendy that like your soul is craving outside of the conventional system of like band-aids.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had some fantastic, I have a chronic illness myself. I have
Okay.
fantastic doctors, right? I've had
Yeah.
some really horrible ones. Um, but none of them are going to address your soul, your spirit, your emotional well-being, like that sort of thing. And so we have to address illness on a multi through multi levels, mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're really not getting to the core of it, and you're the thing about it is you're also missing some important lessons for yourself, right? There's ways that you can grow that you may not even be aware of. But to get to these things, you need money because the traditional medical community only, as we know, only covers certain things. And most of the what I call the juicy stuff or the good stuff is private pay. It's very, very rare that insurance is going to cover something um, alternative.
Yeah.
And so so then it creates this disparity between people who have money and people who don't, and all this sort of thing, or people who go into debt. You don't want that. So it's so exciting that there is a possibility. It doesn't have to be this way when you have a chronic illness. And that's, I think, what you're here to show us how to do, like how to
Yeah.
generate income so that you can do the things that will help you feel better.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Can I fire away? Oh
I
my
would
gosh, I'm
love
so
you to.
excited.
It's the
Okay.
perfect time.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So the first thing, just kind of like coming back into our body here real quick, because like a whole lot of talking, right? And so the
I get too
first
excited.
thing, me too, right? Like, okay, bringing it down. I want you to be able to take all this in. And so the first thing that I'll talk about is creating a plan. So let's say somebody just got diagnosed. That, first of all, is so vulnerable. I don't know what's going to happen. Do I have a partner that I can rely on, or family? It's that space of like, oh shit, this is something big. Okay. So, and just as a reference point too, I used to be a bankruptcy counselor. And one of the biggest reasons that I would see people come in for bankruptcy, and not saying we ever want to go there, I'm just putting a little pin in this, is because of medical, and because of medical that's not covered. So just know that this is like near and dear to my heart, because I would rather not see somebody go down that path. But if that path has to be gone down, just as a starting point, that is the main underlying reason that I used to see people go through bankruptcy. So again, I'm just putting that out there as like, okay, we talked about the thing, the worst case scenario thing. We talked about it. There are options out there. We don't want to go there. But now let's go through and create a plan. So the plan, I always talk about minimum effective doses. And so when we start talking about, oh my goodness, I don't know what is going to happen, how do we start planning? The first thing I'm going to ask is like, okay, what are the expenses? And most people don't know their expenses. So that's A-okay. There's a lot of formats and stuff that I use. I can get everybody up and going. You just reach out. I literally got you covered. I will take care of you. And so the first thing we would need to know is, what's the minimum effective dose? And the minimum effective dose is how much are you spending each month? And how much are you spending each month? Does this also include services? Services for alternative care, including things that Wendy offers as well. So it's like, okay, what's the minimum effective dose? Let's say it's 3,000. Okay. And the goal, I always like to try to make, if you don't know what your financial goal is, make it double your expenses, because that means you know your expenses first. Yay. I want you to know your
I
expenses.
like that. I
And
like
then I
that.
want you to double it. So if like you're like, I don't know what to do, financial stability, like the vision is double your expenses. So the minimum effective dose is like, oh my gosh, what do you need to bring in? Okay, so we just have laid everything out. Let's pretend we know that number. We want the goal to be double that. And then we have to start looking at, okay, are you able to continue working? Do you work less hours? Do you then put more financial wherewithal on the partner? So it's all these pieces and dynamics. So we have to look at how the making of the money changes. We have to look at, if you're in partnership, how that changes partnership. And then we also have to look at expenses. And really the big thing is sinking into a vision, which I know can be so challenging, because here we are saying like illness, it's not so fun, really want to pull you out of it. But the reason that I'll go really big into vision is because we have to have a place to point your attention to. And there quite literally is a system that I use when we activate this. And the reason why I go so deep into vision is because of your reticular activation system. It's your RAS. And your reticular activation system takes 99.999% of data, all of this data, everything data. So your vision system takes in all of this data, and your reticular activation system filters out 99.9999%. And it filters this out based off from your beliefs. Now, if you're sitting in ickiness, it's going to go ahead and reinforce the ickiness. If we have a vision that you can pull you forward, and you keep saying, my vision is, my vision, you keep training your reticular activation system. You keep sitting in the space of like, okay, I know I'm sitting in some muck right now, and that's okay, but my vision is this. So we're not saying that the reality isn't its reality, but we are saying there's a vision in front of you. And I want you to be pulled forward by your vision. I want you to get into the space where your reticular activation system's like, oh, I know the vision. We're looking for the vision. Go ahead and start looking for alternative income sources. I'm a huge component of leveraged income through rental properties. So like maybe that's something to consider, or maybe you're starting to like, you know what, fine, I'm going freelance now. Like whatever this might look like for you. But when we point ourselves to a vision, it puts ourselves in alert and it pulls us out of alarm. And so when I talk about alert and alarm, I'm also talking about your energetic system. So when we're talking about alarm, your body thinks there's a 5-alarm fire going on, and quite literally your energetic system just scrunches right in. When it scrunches in, it also turns off the ability to think. You lose half of your thinking power. Yeah. So here you are in a 5-alarm fire and you're like, finances, you're like, I can't even think that far. I can't even think about this. Oh my gosh, really please, please,
because
please.
I mean, I'm just like dying over here.
Right, please.
But the only thing I want to say is a lot of people with chronic illnesses have a lot of brain fog. Like especially like post-COVID, all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And so to have that vision that you're talking about, even when you feel like shit, like even when you're like you're on the couch, you can't even think straight, the pain is so bad, you still have a vision and nobody can take that away from you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, absolutely. You're 100%. Like if I have a hard time working with folks who don't have a vision because I don't have anything pulling. If somebody comes in and doesn't have the vision, like we've got to just insert one for right now, because that's like what you just said. We've got to train the system. We've got to like, okay, I know you feel like shit. And in order to get out of the shit, we've got to put the vision in front of us. And that way we can activate everything. And I want you to get out of brain fog. I want you to be able to use your brain for what your brain was made for. And I also want you to activate your reticular activation system. I want you to be a reactor instead of a creator in a body. So let's create the income that supports your expenses. How can we dial this up? What are the different things that we can move? And so again, being a creator in a body, like I know this like big deal, there's a thing going on, rather than letting it push and pull you around. Can you still be a creator in a body? Give your human some time to do its thing. Like it's not going to love that this happened, but can we still be a creator in a body? Can we say, you know what, I'm going to go get my energy work. I'm going to get my finances straight. Like, can the thing that feels so devastating, and I know this is going to sound pretty big, but can the thing that feels so devastating be the thing that changes your life? Can this put your life in a different trajectory? And can you use this new trajectory to be like, you know what, I'm going big. I'm doing some things. This is a wake up call. It doesn't feel good. Yes, it doesn't feel good. Thank you, universe, for all the things you do. Right? Thank you. Thank you for all these beautiful lessons. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'll figure out how later. We'll figure that out. But like, okay, it's here. I love, accept it. I love it. Love the best of my ability. And then moving myself out of it. And then how can we put together a financial stability plan? So how can we know exactly what the expenses are? Can we then say, what is the income? Can I double the income? How does this look? Where are we going with this? So can you increase the ability to make more money? Can you manage your money super well? Can you put together a system? And I have a system for this. If you need a system that allows you to manage your money with no bandwidth. I literally don't want you to spend any time thinking about your money system. I have a system that takes me 5 minutes once a month, and I've got 4 mortgages. So like, I got a system for you if you need a system. But so making it, managing it, and then how can we go on and multiply it? Because I want you to be the amazing person who has the ability to have the freedom. I want more than stability for you, but let's start with stability. Absolutely.
I love the fact that you have this system, because, when you're in pain or you're tired or whatever the case may be, coming up with a system is so overwhelming. So to have that already, like someone to guide you through that is amazing.
Right. I know all those years that I was putting in at the non-for-profit that I was working at, going, where is this going to lead me? And it's like, oh, wait, I've taught hundreds of people how to do this. It's literally like, I got you, no brainer. I got templates. I got, like, literally, you can't get it wrong. I got you. I got you. And then you don't have to spend all that time managing your money, which who wants to do that? I want you to go make money and multiply it. And I want you to be healthy and have all this vitality and have the money to do the things, to go work with Wendy and to go to yoga class and go to the Cairo and like all the things that then help you get that vitality back. So absolutely, just know that it's not a sentence, right? This isn't a sentence. This is something that you can then move to create your life trajectory. It's just going to look a little different, and that's okay.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
Love and meet yourself where you're at always. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, good. Okay, Wendy, what did I miss?
Oh
I
my
get so
gosh, I
excited.
said a million things I could have said.
Right.
But it does, like when you talk about, the loss, like when you're have a chronic illness, you oftentimes feel loss of control because you're at the whims of the doctors, the hospitals, you're at the whims of your health. You don't know how much energy you're going to have. You don't know how much pain you're going to be in, whatever. And I don't mean to blow that off like whatever. I mean, these are all serious things, but there's so many things that change when have the chronic illness.
Yeah.
So to have someone who not only understands that, but also can take away this cloud that hangs over you about money, that perhaps could hang over you about money, like um to make it less overwhelming, and to, like you said, to have a system that you can walk people through. What a load off. I mean, what a load off of people's backs, because
Right.
you do. It's a matter of, there is this change in your life, and it's coming to terms with this change and what it means for you. And first you kind of have to feel it. You got to go through it. You got to feel the feelings. And it's like a wave. You don't feel them all at once. You feel them, throughout the time. But you have to, once you've sort of accepted it, then you become ready to step into, how am I going to manage it, and to have a help. To have help from someone like you is incredible. And to think
Yeah.
that even they could add an income, like another income stream. What?
Yeah.
While you're laying on the couch? Can you do it from while you're laying on the couch? I'm
Yeah,
sure it's,
absolutely. Yeah, right.
yeah,
Like
that's what I want to
coaching. Yeah, like I do.
on your
I do
couch.
coaching. Absolutely.
Yeah.
From the craziest places. So yeah, like where do you want to go with it? What can you teach people? Just a little side note, I worked with a woman who did have a chronic illness. She was a very young woman, and I don't know the names of the illnesses and won't go into any
Yeah.
of the details, but we just put together a game plan because I'm all about making more money, right? And we put together a game plan where she's going to create a small membership for $7 a month. She has brought herself through her illness with so much grace. It's amazing. And she has all these different practitioners that she works with and all these different things. And she's got her dog and right. So all the things, I'm like, so with her, we're working on creating a $7 membership for people to follow along with her. So people of the same illness. And she worked out deals with all the people that she got provided, the people that did so good for her. Like, hey, these are all the people who work for me. She ended up being able to get deals, and she was able to then pass those deals on to her membership. So right now she's just got like a $7 membership. Here's all the people who helped me through my chronic illness. If you want all the discounts are worth way more than the $7, and I'll help support you. And she's like, I'm just a normal person who did the things, and like, this is what I did. Here's the right. So like a $7
awesome.
membership, and she's got a chronic illness and she's doing the thing, but here she is like, no, I can help serve more. I can get people to a better place. Like they're not A to Z, but they're A to B to C. Let's see what we can do to get you to C. So like, oh my gosh. So here
That's
she is
awesome.
helping people and helping. Oh my gosh. It's just, yeah. So the sky's the limit-ish. It depends, right? But there's so many different ways to bring out your uniqueness and share your experience and still have your soul shine. Like my program is Rich Bitch with Soul Shine. So it's Rich Bitch freedom. It's just the freedom to like do whatever and be able to really have the happiness and the wealth and the freedom to be you. Like that just, the world needs more you. Be more you. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Sorry.
That's okay. It's
so
exciting.
Exciting. Yeah.
We're lucky that we get to work in our passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I want the same for everybody. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Remove the financial barriers and do the things that light up your soul. And Wendy's got the frequencies. I love it all. Beautiful. Well, Wendy, any last parting words or anything for us as we wrap ourselves up for the health, vitality, and financial stability vision?
I don't think so. I mean, I think this has been really fun. I think I think it will perhaps maybe open some doors for some people and maybe even if it just gets you thinking a little bit,
Yeah.
like maybe you're thinking a little bit differently or opening up just a little bit of a possibility. I think it's
Yeah,
fantastic. So,
I think
yeah,
that's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. And thank you for dropping in. And I'll also include in my links, I have an easy 7-step system to get you up and going. So I have a blueprint to get you where you want to be. So I'll drop that in the links for you
awesome.
as well too. So Wendy, thank you for your time, and those dropping in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are both here for you. Both of our contact information will be notated, and we wish you the most amazing, amazing day. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.